In a crisis, the most dangerous thing you can be is memorable. While everyone else is making themselves targets, I'm going to show you how to become completely invisible, moving through chaos without anyone remembering you were even there. Most people think being a gray man is just about wearing plain clothes. They're wrong, and that mistake will get them targeted, robbed, or worse when society breaks down. Welcome to Bunker Down Survival. I'm going to teach you the 7 rules of becoming a true gray man, advanced tactics that go far beyond what anyone else is teaching. By the end of this video, you'll know how to move through hostile environments completely undetected, even when everyone around you is panicking. This isn't theory. These are field-tested techniques used by intelligence operatives, security professionals, and people who've survived real civil unrest. Rule number 7 is what separates amateurs from professionals, and most preppers have never even heard of it. Let's dive in. First, what exactly is a gray man? It's the ability to blend into any environment so completely that you trigger zero response from anyone around you. You're not suspicious, you're not interesting, you're not threatening, you're not even worth a second glance. You're forgettable white noise. In a post-disaster scenario, civil unrest, economic collapse, grid-down situation, standing out gets you targeted. If you look prepared, you become a target for desperate people. If you look wealthy, you become a target for criminals. If you look weak, you become a target for predators. The gray man becomes none of these things. You fade into the background while remaining completely aware and capable of defending yourself if necessary. Most prepping content focuses on what gear to buy. I'm going to teach you something more valuable: how to become invisible. This is operational security at the highest level. Here are the 7 rules that will keep you alive when everyone else is making fatal mistakes. Rule number 1 is establish your baseline before you move. A baseline is what's normal for a specific environment at a specific time. This is the foundation everything else builds on. Get this wrong, and the other 6 rules won't save you. Baselines are context dependent. What's normal at a beach isn't normal in a business district. What's normal during daytime isn't normal at 2 a.m. What's normal in rural Texas isn't normal in downtown Manhattan. Before you enter any new area, a neighborhood, a store, a crowd, you must stop and observe. Don't just look, analyze. What are people wearing? Not just clothing type, but colors, fit, condition. Are clothes new or worn, bright or muted, branded or plain? How are people moving? Fast or slow, purposeful or wandering, relaxed or tense? Are they in groups or alone? What's the noise level? Are people talking, shouting, silent? What's the emotional temperature? Calm, nervous, angry, scared? Here's what most people miss. Baselines change rapidly during crisis. What was normal yesterday might stand out today. During civil unrest, wearing a suit might make you a target because everyone else is in casual clothes. Carrying a nice bag might signal you have valuable items. The gray man constantly reassesses baseline as situations evolve. Let me give you a real example. During the 2020 protests, in some cities, wearing all black made you blend with protesters. In other areas, it marked you as an agitator and made you a target for both police and counter-protesters. Same clothing, opposite effect, because the baseline was different. Your job is to match the baseline so precisely that you become part of the scenery. Not slightly different, not close enough, identical to the statistical average of what people are doing around you. This requires humility. You might hate baseball caps, but if everyone's wearing one, you wear one. You might love your tactical pants, but if everyone's in jeans, you wear jeans. Ego kills. Baseline keeps you alive. Before you enter any new area, spend 5 to 10 minutes observing from a distance. Watch how people dress, move, and behave, then match it exactly. Rule number 2: eliminate all stimulus triggers from your person. Your brain has a system called the reticular activating system, the RAS. It's a filter that determines what information gets your attention and what gets ignored. Without this filter, you'd suffer sensory overload from the thousands of inputs you receive every second. The RAS is designed to catch anomalies, things that are different, unusual, or potentially threatening. You've experienced this. You're at a crowded party, having a conversation, filtering out all the background noise. Then someone across the room says your name. Instantly, your RAS alerts you. That word was important, so it broke through the filter. As a gray man, your goal is to never trigger anyone's RAS. You want to be the background noise that gets filtered out, not the anomaly that gets attention. Here's what triggers the RAS and marks you as memorable. Logos and branding. That gun manufacturer logo on your shirt? It tells everyone you probably own firearms. That's stimulus. Your brain immediately categorizes, this person has guns. During crisis, you've just painted a target on yourself. Remove all logos, no brand names, no slogans, no identifying marks of any kind. Plain, solid-colored clothing in muted tones, grays, tans, dark blues, blacks, depending on your baseline. Tactical gear in civilian environments. Paracord bracelets, morale patches, 511 pants, military-style boots, operator hats. All of these scream, I'm prepared, or I have training. You've just told everyone you're a high-value target. New or expensive items in deteriorating environments. If society is collapsing and everyone looks disheveled, your brand new boots and pristine backpack make you stand out as someone who has resources. Opposite color schemes from baseline. If everyone's in dark colors and you're in bright white, you trigger RAS. If everyone's casual and you're in formal wear, you trigger RAS. Military or law enforcement identifiers. Even if you served, don't advertise it during crisis. Veteran hats, unit patches, thin blue line flags, these create immediate impressions and might make you a target for people with anti-authority sentiment. Political or ideological symbols. American flag patches, Gadsden flags, political candidate stickers. These instantly tell people your beliefs and create division. You want to be anonymous, not taking sides. Reflective or shiny materials. Anything that catches light draws the eye. Watches, jewelry, metal buckles, reflective strips on clothing, all triggers for RAS. Unusual smells. Strong cologne, gun cleaning solvent, campfire smoke, gasoline. Unusual smells trigger stimulus. You want to smell neutral or like your baseline environment. Visible weapons or weapon-shaped bulges. Even if you're legally carrying concealed, visible printing through clothing or obvious knife clips trigger RAS. People notice and remember. Here's the hard truth. Everything you carry or wear sends a signal. Your job is to send only one signal. Nothing interesting here. Audit every item on your person. Does it trigger RAS? If yes, remove it or hide it completely. The gray man is a chameleon, unremarkable, instantly forgettable, never the person someone remembers seeing. Rule number 3, master your eyes and body language. Here's what most gray man content gets wrong. They focus on clothing and ignore the deadliest giveaway, how you move and where you look. Your body language tells more about you than anything you wear. Eye contact. Avoid it completely. The moment you make direct eye contact with someone, you've created a connection. They remember you. You've triggered their RAS. Watch how people move through crowds in normal times. Most make brief passing glances, but don't lock eyes. That's your baseline. In crisis situations, eye contact can be interpreted as aggression or weakness, depending on context. Either way, you've been noticed. Keep your eyes moving naturally, but never lock onto anyone's gaze. If accidental eye contact happens, look away immediately and casually, not in a scared or aggressive manner. Use your peripheral vision. This is a trained skill. You can see threats and assess situations without obviously scanning like you're on patrol. Head position matters. Constantly moving your head on a swivel, what we call tactical scanning, marks you as trained. It signals, I'm looking for threats, which means I expect threats, which means I might be dangerous or I might have something worth protecting. Instead, use natural head movements. Turn your head when it's natural, looking at a street sign, checking traffic, glancing at a store window. Use reflections in windows and car mirrors to check behind you without turning around. Walking pace and rhythm. Most people don't think about how they walk. The gray man does. Walk at the same pace as people around you. Not faster, that signals urgency or fear. Not slower, that signals you're observing or confused. Match the rhythm of the crowd. If people are strolling, you stroll. If people are walking with purpose, you walk with purpose. Your stride length, posture, and arm swing should match baseline. Military march stands out. Athletic strut stands out. Timid shuffle stands out. Posture communicates volumes. Upright, shoulders back, chin up. This is confident, possibly military or law enforcement posture. It says, I'm capable of violence. Slouched, head down, hands in pockets. This says victim, easy target. The gray man adopts neutral, relaxed posture. Not aggressive, not submissive, relaxed but not sloppy. Alert but not tense. Hand position. Never rest your hand near a concealed weapon. This is an unconscious habit that trained people do and other trained people notice. Keep hands visible and natural. In pockets occasionally is fine if that matches baseline, but constant hands in pockets signals you're hiding something or you're nervous. Facial expressions. Your face should show mild, neutral contentment. Not smiling, that's unusual in tense environments. Not frowning, that's aggressive. Not blank, that's creepy. Think mildly preoccupied with normal thoughts. The face you make when you're thinking about what to cook for dinner. Response to threats. This is critical. When something alarming happens, gunshots, explosion, shouting, normal people have two responses: freeze in shock or look directly at the source. Trained people do neither. They immediately move to cover while assessing threats from protected positions. If you're trying to blend in, you must respond like untrained people respond, with momentary shock and confusion, looking around to see what others are doing. Yes, this goes against your training, but if you immediately drop and move to cover when shots fire, you've just announced I have tactical training to everyone watching. The gray man accepts slightly more risk to maintain invisibility. You can't be gray if you're moving like an operator.
Rule number 4. Master conversation control and verbal gray man tactics. Becoming invisible isn't just physical, it's verbal. The words you use, how you speak, and what information you share all impact whether you're memorable. Avoid conversations whenever possible. Every interaction creates memory. The more you talk, the more impressions you create, the more memorable you become. If someone tries to engage you, asking directions, making small talk, or probing for information, you need exit strategies that don't create suspicion. Use vague, boring responses. I'm not from around here, sorry. I'm actually running late, excuse me. I'm not sure, but good luck. These responses are polite but provide no information and naturally end conversation. If you must engage, use strategic blandness. Give generic, unmemorable answers. Don't share personal details, specific locations, opinions, or plans. Question: where are you headed? Bad answer. I'm going to my sister's house on Maple Street to pick up supplies. Good answer. Just running some errands. Avoid revealing competence. Don't give advice, don't correct misinformation, don't demonstrate knowledge. If someone says, I heard the store on 5th Street still has water, don't respond with, actually that store was looted yesterday, the one on 3rd is better. You've just revealed you have updated intelligence about the area. People remember that. Instead, oh, interesting. Thanks for the info. Mirror speech patterns. People trust and ignore those who speak like them. If your baseline is using casual language, don't speak formally. If people are speaking slowly, don't speak fast. Match vocabulary level, accent neutrality, and pace. Never discuss preparedness, firearms, tactics, or survival. Even if someone brings it up, play dumb. "Oh, I don't know much about that stuff. Yeah, I should probably get more prepared. I never really thought about it." People remember the prepper, the gun guy, the tactical person. They don't remember the guy who doesn't care. Avoid strong opinions on anything. Politics, religion, current events. Having vocal opinions makes you memorable and potentially creates enemies. "I don't follow politics much. I haven't been keeping up with the news. I try to stay out of all that." Apathy is forgettable. Passion is memorable. Strategic deafness. Sometimes the best response is not responding. If someone asks a probing question, you can pretend not to hear, look distracted, or simply not acknowledge and keep moving. People will assume you didn't hear or weren't paying attention rather than thinking you deliberately ignored them. Never use jargon or technical language. Military terminology, tactical terms, prepper-specific language, all of these mark you as trained or prepared. Don't say situational awareness or SOCP or SHTF or gray man or bug out. Speak like a normal, unprepared person would speak. The verbal gray man says as little as possible, and what little he says is boring, vague, and instantly forgettable. Rule number 5. Master adaptive gray man tactics for changing environments. This is where amateurs fail. They learn one gray man setup and think they're done. Clothing that makes you invisible in one environment makes you a target in another. The true gray man carries adaptive options and changes appearance based on environment. Layered clothing system. You need the ability to change your appearance quickly. Reversible jackets, layers that can be added or removed. Items that change your silhouette. In 30 seconds, you should be able to go from looking like you're coming from an office to looking like you're coming from a warehouse job. How? Removable outer layers in different styles. A button-up shirt over a plain t-shirt. Remove the shirt, stuff it in your bag, you've changed your entire look. Carry adaptive accessories. A baseball cap changes your profile significantly. Put it on or take it off, you look different. Reading glasses, even non-prescription, dramatically alter your appearance. On or off, you're a different person. A lightweight jacket changes your silhouette and color palette completely. These items are small, packable, and allow you to shift appearance to match new baselines as you move through different areas. The bag dilemma. Carrying a bag marks you as mobile, possibly displaced, possibly carrying valuables. In some environments, everyone has bags. In others, no one does. Solution? Packable bag. A lightweight bag that folds into a pocket. When your baseline requires a bag, deploy it. When it doesn't, pocket it. The specific bag type matters. Tactical backpack screams prepared. Laptop bag says office worker. Gym bag says athletic. Match your baseline. Vehicle considerations. Your vehicle can destroy your gray man status. Bumper stickers, window decals, modification packages, even cleanliness level all send signals. In a crisis where most cars are dusty and worn, a spotless vehicle stands out. In a nice neighborhood, a beat-up vehicle raises suspicion. The gray man's vehicle is absolutely average for its environment. No stickers, no modifications, no standing out. If you must travel through multiple environments, remove any identifiers. A magnetic sign or removable decal can change your vehicle's message instantly. Day versus night adaptions. Baselines change dramatically between day and night. What blends during day might stand out at night. At night in a city, people are either coming from work, going to bars, or obviously homeless. Your clothing should match one of these categories. At night in residential areas, being outside at all is suspicious unless you're obviously coming home from somewhere. Carrying work bag, dressed appropriately. The gray man knows what time it makes sense to be where. Movement between socioeconomic areas. This is critical and rarely discussed. Moving from a wealthy area to a poor area, or vice versa, requires appearance adaptation. Wearing expensive clothing in a poor neighborhood marks you as a target. Wearing cheap clothing in a wealthy neighborhood marks you as suspicious. If you must travel through varied socioeconomic zones, plan appearance changes at boundaries. Find a secluded spot, gas station bathroom, parking garage, alley, and modify your look. Remove or add layers. Change your bag. Adjust your overall presentation to match where you're going, not where you've been. Cultural and regional adaptations. Different regions have different norms. Country areas versus urban areas. Southern versus northern. Coastal versus Midwest. What's normal casual wear in Texas isn't normal in New York City. The gray man researches regional norms before travel. Crisis progression adaptations. As a crisis deepens, baselines change. Day 1 of a disaster, people still look relatively normal. Day 7, everyone's disheveled, dirty, exhausted. If you look fresh and clean on day 7, you stand out. The gray man intentionally allows appearance to degrade at the same rate as your environment. This means not washing clothes daily, allowing facial hair growth to match others, accepting dirt and wear at the same pace as your environment. This is hard for prepared people. You have the ability to stay clean, but staying clean makes you memorable. The ultimate rule of adaptation: always be matching your current environment, not your starting point or destination.
Rule number 6. Develop internal gray man mindset, the mental discipline no one teaches. Physical gray man is external, mental gray man is internal. Both are required. Emotional control under stress. Crisis creates strong emotions: fear, anger, panic. These emotions change your body language, facial expressions, and decision-making. The gray man maintains emotional neutrality regardless of internal state. You just heard gunshots. Internally, your heart is racing, adrenaline dumping. Externally, you look mildly concerned like everyone else, not moving with trained tactical precision. This is mental discipline, feeling fear internally while projecting calm externally. Situational awareness without looking aware. You're scanning for threats constantly. You notice everything. You've identified exits, cover positions, potential threats, escape routes. But you look like you're just casually walking around, maybe slightly bored. This is advanced training. Your peripheral vision is working overtime. You're using reflections, listening to sounds, tracking movement patterns, but your eyes aren't darting around obviously. Suppressing protective instincts. You see a woman being harassed. Your instinct is to intervene. The gray man does not intervene unless directly threatened, because intervening makes you memorable and potentially makes you a target. This is cold calculus. Your mission is survival and reaching your destination. Playing hero breaks gray man protocol. You can hate this reality. I hate this reality, but reality doesn't care. Patience and restraint. Someone bumps into you roughly, maybe intentionally testing you. A trained fighter's instinct is to respond with controlled aggression, establish dominance. The gray man apologizes, even if it wasn't his fault, and moves away. You de-escalate instantly. Pride gets you killed. Ego gets you remembered. Decision-making under observation. You're at a store. People are panic buying. Do you grab supplies aggressively or pretend you don't need anything? The gray man takes only what fits his current appearance profile. If you're pretending to be unprepared, you can't fill a cart with survival supplies. Maybe you make multiple trips to different stores instead. Maybe you pretend to be shopping for someone else. Maybe you buy items that don't obviously scream prepper. Canned vegetables and rice are less obvious than MREs and water filtration systems. Self-control regarding competence. You know how to help. You have medical skills. Someone is injured and people are doing everything wrong. The gray man does not volunteer his skills unless absolutely necessary for his own survival.
The moment you provide expert medical care, you're remembered as that guy who knew what he was doing. Now you're a resource people will come looking for. Mental separation from others. This is harsh but necessary. The gray man does not form attachments or obligations to strangers during crisis. You don't join groups, you don't make friends, you don't promise to help. Every relationship is potential liability and makes you memorable to more people. You're friendly but forgettable, polite but distant, helpful in small, unmemorable ways but never essential. Maintaining cover under questioning. Someone's getting suspicious. They're asking pointed questions, testing your story. The gray man doesn't get defensive, doesn't provide too much detail, doesn't act nervous. You give boring answers with mild confusion about why they're asking. You act slightly annoyed by the interruption, but not threatened. I'm just trying to get home, man. I don't know what you think is going on. Then you disengage and move away casually, not fleeing. The core mindset. You are an observer passing through, not a participant. You exist in the environment, but not of it. This mental framework allows you to make gray man decisions instinctively rather than consciously analyzing every choice. Rule number 7, master operational deception, the advanced tactics professionals use. This is what separates true gray man practitioners from amateurs who just wear plain clothes. Strategic misdirection of destination and origin. If anyone observes your movement pattern, they shouldn't be able to determine where you're coming from or going to. The gray man uses irregular routes, deliberate stops that break patterns, and false direction changes. Example, you're heading home. Instead of walking directly there, you walk past your street, stop at a random location for 5 minutes, then backtrack from a different direction. Anyone tracking you can't determine your actual destination. Decoy items and planted information. If you're forced into conversation or someone searches your bag, what they find should reinforce a false profile. Carry items that support a mundane cover story. Receipt from a store in a different neighborhood, business card from a generic company, shopping list for ordinary items. If someone's checking bags or papers, these items support your "I'm just a regular person running errands" story. Multiple appearance profiles pre-planned. Before a crisis, you should have 3 distinct appearance profiles ready to deploy. Profile A, your normal baseline appearance for your home area. Profile B, professional or office worker appearance for business districts. Profile C, working class or casual appearance for industrial or poor areas. Each profile has specific clothing, bags, accessories, and backstory ready. When you need to move through different environments, you shift profiles appropriately. False vulnerability displays. Sometimes appearing slightly vulnerable actually protects you because you don't appear to be a threat or high-value target. Slight limp, wearing reading glasses, carrying a medical prescription bottle visibly. These signal not a threat, probably not worth robbing. This is deliberate deception. You're capable, but you're appearing incapable. The lost person act. If questioned or if you need to explain why you're in an area, appearing lost or confused provides instant justification. I'm trying to find my sister's place. I thought it was on this street. My GPS isn't working. Do you know how to get to the main road? Being lost explains any suspicious behavior. Wrong neighborhood, slow walking, looking around, hesitating. Documentation deception. In scenarios where you might be checked by authorities or organized groups, having mundane documentation ready prevents deeper questioning. Old work ID from a generic company, library card, expired gym membership. These items seem innocent but support your cover story of ordinary civilian. Strategic resource concealment. If you must carry supplies, distribute them to look innocent. Water bottles in a gym bag with workout clothes. Protein bars scattered through a messenger bag with work documents. First aid supplies in a small pouch labeled diabetic supplies. Nothing looks organized for survival. Everything has a mundane explanation. Counter-surveillance awareness without surveillance behavior. You're checking if you're being followed without looking like you're checking if you're being followed. Stop to tie your shoe while scanning behind you. Window shop while using reflections. Take a wrong turn and correct it while observing who follows. Professional counter-surveillance without professional appearance. Exit strategy always planned. Before entering any environment, the gray man has identified primary exit route, secondary exit route, emergency exit route, rally point of separated, safe areas along the route. But you never obviously scout these. You identify them casually as if you're just generally aware of your surroundings. The nuclear option, complete appearance overhaul. In truly high-threat environments, you might need to completely change appearance beyond clothing. This means temporary hair color change, different glasses, changed walking gait, different speaking voice and accent. This is intelligence-level tradecraft, and most people won't need it. But understanding it exists shows you the depth of true gray man operations. The ultimate advanced tactic. Use your environment's own security measures against observation. Security cameras, checkpoints, patrol patterns, these exist. The gray man uses them to blend rather than avoid them. Walking confidently through a checkpoint like you belong there is less suspicious than avoiding it. Being on security camera with dozens of other people is less memorable than going out of your way to avoid cameras. You hide in plain sight, using the system itself as camouflage.
Before we close, let's discuss the most common mistakes that destroy your gray man status. Things I see preppers doing constantly that completely defeat the purpose. Mistake 1. Wearing one piece of tactical gear with otherwise normal clothes. You're in jeans and a t-shirt, but you have a tactical belt, 5.11 boots, and a knife clipped to your pocket. You think you're subtle. You're not. That one piece of tactical gear marks you to anyone who knows what to look for. All or nothing. Either full baseline match or you failed. Mistake 2. Obviously scanning for threats. I see this constantly. Head on a swivel, eyes darting, checking corners and exits like you're on patrol. You've just told everyone you have training and you're expecting trouble. Congratulations, you're now the most interesting person in the room. Mistake 3. Traveling in obvious prepper groups. 3 guys in their 40s, all in casual clothes that happen to be earth tones, all with similar bags, all moving together with tactical spacing. You're a convoy. You stand out as a group. The gray man travels alone or with people who look like normal companions. Family, casual friends, random companions, not a tactical team. Mistake 4. Overreacting to false alarms. Car backfires. Everyone else barely notices. You drop into a combat crouch. You've just failed spectacularly. The gray man reacts like an untrained civilian, even if his training screams otherwise. Mistake 5. Too perfect appearance for the environment. Crisis has been ongoing for 3 days. Everyone looks stressed, dirty, exhausted. You look fresh, clean, well-rested. You either have a secure base with resources, or you're so out of touch with reality that you don't understand what's happening. Either way, you stand out. Mistake 6. Constant weapon checks. Unconsciously touching your concealed weapon to confirm it's there, adjusting your holster, moving your jacket to improve access. Every person with training notices this. You've just announced you're armed, which might make some people more cautious and others more aggressive. Mistake 7. Showing knowledge during casual conversations. Someone makes a tactical error in their prep plan. You can't help yourself, you correct them and offer better advice. Now you're the guy with knowledge, the expert. People remember experts. People seek out experts when they need help. Mistake 8. Using your real vehicle with identifiable features. Your truck has your work company logo, NRA sticker, veteran plates, and tactical gear visible in the back seat. That vehicle is now a permanent marker. Everyone who sees it can identify you, track you, and remember where you go. Every one of these mistakes creates memory, triggers stimulus, and marks you as different. Avoid them completely. These 7 rules are the foundation of true gray man methodology. This isn't just about clothing. It's a complete operational mindset that allows you to move through hostile environments undetected. Rule 1. Establish baseline for every environment before you move. Rule 2. Eliminate all stimulus triggers from your person. Rule 3. Control your eyes and body language completely. Rule 4. Master conversation control and verbal gray man tactics. Rule 5. Adapt your appearance for changing environments. Rule 6. Develop internal gray man mindset and mental discipline. Rule 7. Master operational deception and advanced tactics. The gray man isn't about being scared or avoiding conflict. It's about controlling when and where conflict happens. You choose your battles rather than having them forced upon you. You move through chaos unnoticed, reaching your destination while others are still arguing at checkpoints, getting robbed in bad neighborhoods, or explaining themselves to hostile groups. The greatest victory is the fight that never happens, because no one saw you as a target in the first place. Start practicing these skills now, in normal times. Test your ability to blend in different environments, see if you can move through a crowd and be completely forgettable. This is a skill that requires practice, not just knowledge. Which of these 7 rules surprises you most? Drop a comment. Are you already practicing gray man tactics, or is this a new concept? Share your thoughts. Subscribe to Bunker Down Survival for advanced preparedness tactics that go beyond gear. The prepared don't just survive, they thrive by being invisible until the moment they need to be dangerous. Stay gray, stay alive.